Hello, my name is Kristi Holstein. This sleepy pile of fluff in the background there is Baron. And I've got Norbert and Sal this evening. We're coming to you pre-recorded from Lincoln County, West Virginia. Some of you guys may recognize me or my hair, at least, from folk orchestra concerts. I did live in Santa Barbara for the last 4 years, but last summer I had to make the decision to move back home. So here I am in my little cabin in the woods, and my rural internet access is pathetic. So I opted to pre-record. Also because I just didn't think that I could give a technologically intricate, really fantastic performance at 10 o'clock at night because my bedtime's like 9 p.m. So my brain just wouldn't work. But that said, I will be watching right along with you because I do have the brain capacity to watch my friends play awesome music. So I can interact with you in the comments while you're watching, or you can throw virtual tomatoes at me or whatever you want to do. I've got kind of an eclectic mix for you this evening. I've got some Celtic tunes, some Appalachian old-timey fiddle tunes, and a couple of pop tunes just to like mix things up. Most of what I'm playing are from duet books that I have become very familiar with during quarantine times. But I've got a couple of guitar backing tracks. I wanted to give a shout out to Mandolessons on YouTube, and they have a Bandcamp page that has all of these guitar tracks on it. So this first one has guitar by Mandolessons. I want to say mandolessons.com, but there's never a .com there. So this first tune is called Banish Misfortune, and I just thought that that would be a good way to start things off. I'm not only going to banish misfortune for myself and all the problems that I might have in my set, because this is absolutely not my second time recording this because there were some issues earlier. I'm going to banish all of the misfortune for all of my pals coming up later, those that either pre-recorded or if they're live streaming. We're banishing all of that misfortune. No bad vibes. Here we go. Kicking it out.
1, 2, 3, 4. So the next tune I'm going to play is one of the first old-time tunes that I learned. When I moved back a few months ago, I decided that it was time to jump into old-time Appalachian-style fiddling, which is not something I ever did when I was growing up here. I was strangely more drawn both you know, like musically and my just technique, my style, was better suited to Celtic style fiddling. So I did get a little bit more into that. Although I am a classical player, you know, since I was 7 years old, I've classically trained, bachelor's, master's, all the whole shebang. But I felt like I'm back now, and I really, like, I deserve it to me, my heritage, to be able to hang at old time sessions. So I do virtual lessons with a local fiddler. She teaches me the tune piece by piece, all by ear, although I do write some notes down in my little book, like finger numbers and stuff, to try to help me remember how the tune starts. And she then posts videos for me to reference after the lesson, so that I don't forget what the tune sounds like. And sometimes she'll play guitar as well, because that's a really common old-time fiddle, well, not old-time fiddle thing, but like old-time musicians, they can hang on just about any instrument that you hand them, most of them. So even though she is also a trained violinist and a fiddle player, she made this guitar backing track for me. So this tune is called Juliana Johnson.
Alright. Backing track.
She took that one pretty darn fast. So the next tune I'm gonna play for you is gonna be an unaccompanied fiddle tune, mostly because Annie, my teacher, did not provide a guitar track for this, and I couldn't find one on like the Mandolessons page or anybody else that was like just playing the chords for this. So this is called Snake River Reel, and it's a New England style tune. You may have noticed in Juliana Johnson just now, I was using a lot of open strings. I was playing 2 strings at once, and I actually was able to play the tune on my high 2 strings and my low 2 strings. That's kind of a thing with old time fiddle, is that we normally stay on a pair of strings, and then you can play the tune in different octaves to like break up the monotony in a really long jam session. New England style tunes, however, tend to make use of all 4 strings across the span of the melody, so you can't really play them in more than one octave. So this is Snake River Reel. doing back there, babe? Hey, you like that song? He's a critic. I don't, but yeah, I don't really know how to end fiddle tunes by myself just yet. They can just go on forever, so it's kind of hard to figure it out. I'll go back real quick to my Celtic book, just in case I need it. This is one of actually the very first fiddle tunes I ever learned, if not the first. You were going crazy back there, huh? You liking this music, huh? Yeah? You cutie pootie. This is Drowsy Maggie. I remember learning this tune in little snippets from a friend of mine at youth symphony rehearsals in like middle school. Because he was really big into Celtic fiddle, and I liked hearing him play, and so I asked him to teach me a tune, and this was what he taught me. So this is Drowsy Maggie, guitar backing track by my pals at Mandolessons, who I don't know, but thanks. And the second violin part probably by Deborah Greenblatt and whoever else wrote this book. That was one of the very first, if not the very first book I ever purchased.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Close enough. Yeah, so that's something approximating Drowsy Maggie. I was experimenting with my the program that I used to record the backing tracks and figured out how I could speed things up, because the guitar track that they provided was just that really first slow speed the whole time, and I wanted it to go faster, and then I may have just like kicked myself a little bit for making it go too fast at the end, but whatever, it's fine. It's fun. So the next tune I'm gonna play for you, you saw me put my other fiddle down and pick this one up. This is Sal, and Sal stays in cross tuning. Now, Sal's my backup fiddle, and cross tuning is something that I think mostly old time fiddle players use. We change the pitches of 2 or 3 of the strings on the violin in order to make it a little bit more resonant when playing solo or when we're playing with other folks. So the strings on a violin are traditionally E, A, D, G. And I am in cross A on this one, so it's E, A, E, A. So this is another way of kind of like on Juliana Johnson, how I could play the same tune in a higher octave and a lower octave. Cross tuning lets me do that without having to think so hard, because I can play literally the same fingerings. Whatever I played on the high E string, I can play those same exact fingerings on the low E string, and it makes things like really handy that way. Also, yeah, the instrument is more resonant, and any open string I hit is like almost guaranteed to be consonant and sound good with anything that I'm doing at the time, so I can get lots of drones going. So this next tune that I'm going to do is called Chinkapin Hunting, and this has a guitar track provided by Mandolessons. You guessed it. Here we go.
Drum, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, so that was Chinkapin Hunting. That one can be done in standard tuning or in cross tuning. But when I was messing around with it, I figured out that it was really hard to play the lower octave stuff not cross tuned. So I decided to cross tune instead. Let me give you another little quick cross tune. This one is called Puncheon Floor. This is the Mose Kaufman version. Mose Kaufman was a local fiddler around these parts. Puncheon Floor was apparently a particular type of flooring or something, a wooden flooring. It's not like a punch in your floor. It's not like a hole in the floor or anything like that. But there are different versions of this tune floating around. That actually happens occasionally, relatively scary often, in the old time fiddle realm. That there's also a tune called Cumberland Gap. And there are two very different versions of Cumberland Gap, and they're in two different keys. Same thing with Cold Frosty Morning. There's a Melvin Wine version, and there's a somebody else, Cold Frosty Morning, completely different tunes. It's kind of weird, but this is Puncheon Floor. Just to give you another cross tune to listen to. So, it's coming towards the end of my set. I did have another little old time tune in there, but I do also want to hit you with the two pop tunes that I decided to program. There was more. I had a really hard time whittling down the list of tunes that I wanted to play for y'all tonight. But I'm going to try to get to both of these because the last tune I picked on purpose. So this next one, I'm not actually going to introduce it. I'm not going to tell you the name of it. I think everybody's going to recognize it. You might think that I'm too young to know this song, but I was raised by old folks. My dad's 80 and I'm 28. So I was raised on another generation of music and TV shows, Andy Griffith, Leave It to Beaver, all that sort of stuff. So just a second. Hydration is really important. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. me check the time of my set here. Oh my goodness. I don't know if I'm going to have time. I'm going to just throw it in here and everyone can really yell at me if it's a little longer because they didn't want things longer than 25 minutes. So I'm going to start it before 25 minutes. Here we go. When I'm 64, because this is a benefit for a retirement home. So I figured not only should I throw some Beatles in there, but like 65 retirement age. Yeah, sort of. Here we go. Last song of the night. thank you guys so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it, and Baron wasn't too stinking cute and distracting back there. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the performance this evening. Thank you so much.